Maintaining the relationships and all that stuff is a big part of running a band, just like a family. And some of my best teachers I had would tell me like best advice I give any band is don't break up. So like it will take 10 plus years typically to get anything significant your way, unless you're really lucky.
What's up, everybody? It's Keefy from GhostCultMag.com. I'm super excited to be joined by Tyler from Xoth. Did I say that correctly? I don't even know.
Yes, you did.
All right, yes. The practice paid off. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you get it? Do people get it wrong all the time?
Occasionally. So we've been saying just like David Lee Xoth.
Haha, yes.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
I actually am rewatching Sopranos, right? So I just saw the episode where David Lee Roth is at the card game. I don't know if you're a fan, but that's
I've
one of their.
Never seen it. It's one of those shows that's on the ever-growing list of things to watch
Right.
that I don't have enough time for.
It was peak TV.
I want to, yeah.
It was definitely peak TV. David Lee Roth playing cards with like the main characters in The Sopranos, and Lawrence Taylor, formerly of the New York Giants. So those guys could have had a conversation about many things. How rock and roll is similar to athletes and sports. But anywho, you guys are going on a big tour. You have a huge 2025 on tap. You probably already have done a bunch of things getting ready for this. Your last record was a couple of years ago, Exogalactic, which is killer. Mm-hmm. Brutal technical death metal. But give me a little origin story for the band. This is our first time talking, and I want our audience to get to know you and the band.
Yeah. Well, so really, Xoth was born out of the ashes of a previous project of mine, where I just wanted to make some music, some metal that like combined like all the things I like instead of being like highly focused on one genre or specific style. Really was just. But something that's just like really epic, melodic, still really heavy, like that music that really like tells a story, shaped like that. So after my last band broke up, actually our final show of that band, we had Woody, our guitar player, and Jeremy, our drummer, played in that band for one show. And that went really well. We just decided to cut the past off and start anew. That's how the band came around.
Bold. It's hard to do that. I think, these things haven't changed much in 40 or 50 years in terms of a working band. And let's face it, underground metal, death metal, technical death metal, most of us are not going to be gajillionaires and you got to want to be there. So it's hard. I always say that a band, a successful band can be amazing, but you can have a very good band with great music and not like each other and not get along and be on a different page, business style. And it could be like a loveless marriage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maintaining the relationships and all that stuff is a big part of running a band, just like a family. And some of my best teachers I had would tell me like best advice I give any band is don't break up. So like it will take 10 plus years typically to get anything significant your way, unless you're really lucky.
That is correct. And speaking of 10 years, you guys are over 10 years in this band, and 3 full lengths and an EP, which I went back and listened to all of. So any reflections on this, obviously it came and went for 10 years, and we had kind of the whole global pandemic, and we all suffered like a psychotic break collectively as a human race. So thoughts on, where you guys started out to now?
It's been a good trajectory. We all had been in previous bands and learned from those mistakes. And started this one like thinking we wouldn't make mistakes, but then made plenty. But just I feel like each album and the process of recording those and playing them and learning what to do and what not to do has been a good trajectory. When our second album, Interdimensional Invocations, came out the end of 2019, and it started to get traction. Like the first thing we put out that was like, okay, maybe this will lead to some touring and something better. But yeah, then the pandemic hit, and it did just feel like a big knife in the middle of progress, both in, like no shows and just an overall motivation to work on stuff. So it definitely been doing the band for 11 years, but there's like a year and a half too where it feels like it's slowed down quite a bit.
And you persevered.
Yeah. And some people were like, oh, it's great. I wrote a bunch of music and did all this. I got to stay at home. Well, a lot of us just were depressed and didn't work on anything. So that's like where I was at. Yeah.
Yeah, totally okay, by the way, because I've talked to some underground bands and some of the biggest artists in the world from across the spectrum, and they were all like, yeah, like, I'm an introvert and it was amazing. Or I'm an extrovert and I was miserable. Or I didn't know what the state of the world was going to be for the music industry and what we were coming back to, so I just didn't feel creative. And that's okay. I think people don't understand that, like, in between albums, typically, you live life. You go on tour a little bit, you promote the album, you do press like this interview, but, you're not like in suspended animation. You are living life to get experiences that you will hopefully put into your next thing. So I do feel like there's been a nice growth musically from album to album, and I really love the growth from the last record to now. So like that, obviously the band loves space. So let's talk about that for a second. Clearly space themes. This is not new, but I love how you guys do it.
Yeah, so I mean, I've always loved sci-fi and fun stuff like that. I'm more on the I like more like Total Recall, movies like that. Rather than not that I don't like Star Wars or anything, but I like these kind of like heady sci-fi movies with espionage and all stuff like that. Whether it's movies like that or book series like Red Rising is something I really like, or like video games like Mass Effect, old H.P. Lovecraft, cosmic horror, just anything space, and then also Carl Sagan's Cosmos, and just like the real deal. Just pondering the big questions of the unlimited possibilities. So I think we're like very space cosmic theme, but everything happens in the cosmos, so you can have songs about anything you want, really.
Right on. In space, no one can hear you scream, but on Earth, we're screaming all the time. Yeah. I definitely don't think we have a shot against any alien race. What do you think?
If an alien race is able to get here, or is not already here without us knowing, their technology is definitely more advanced. So unless someone's coming to like usher us in and give us technology to help out, we're probably doomed if someone comes to reap the evolution harvest or something.
Yes, we will be ruined quickly. I always think of the early Twilight Zone original series episode, To Serve Man. It's always my guidepost for everything in sci-fi, but yeah, we don't stand a chance. I really think so. But I'm hopeful, and I hopefully we're not in a new dumb dark age where people are not interested in exploring and scientific discovery and things, because not only is there a whole vastness of Earth that we don't know about, the universe is infinitely vast. It's not, we're just discovering things from light years away, and we're just seeing like a flicker of their future memory. To get a little poetic on a Tuesday.
No, it's amazing. I think there's 100% other intelligent life. I think it'd be like mathematically impossible for there not to be, just with how infinite everything is. So.
Right on. How far back in your life does this passion and interest go, like to childhood?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was into anything aliens or monsters, anything scary. I was really into, whether it's aliens or zombies. So, and I was always dreamt about space and going out there. Just always a vivid imagination.
Right on. That's good. You need that. We used to get told when we didn't have toys, you use your brain. It's the best. Your imagination is the best playground, right?
Oh. Yeah, exactly.
You get a cat friend?
Visitor, yeah, loud one.
I'm cat sitting, so I'm not in my usual studio. Oh, I saw him pass through behind you. Oh, lint rollers are essential when you have one of those fur balls. Yeah, man. And then, of course, beside the subject matter, obviously, musically, you guys are reaching for some very high-minded stuff. Obviously, you played for a long time. Are you constantly working on your craft, or have you achieved a certain level of technicality you're comfortable with and you're good, and you're just writing and creating stuff within the framework you have, or are you always trying to improve?
I'm always trying to improve. Just, practicing and studying guitar is like the main focus of my life, and has been for 25 years now. Whether it's technique or studying other songs, learning music, writing, like playing piano or whatever, I'm just always striving to be better. Yeah.
Right on. I thought Exogalactic was such a strong album. Do you demo and pre-pro a lot of material first, or do you all create as a group?
There's a lot of writing going on at home, whether that's doing a Reaper session and doing a demo, or using a program like Guitar Pro to notate thoughts out, which I have to do or I'll forget stuff. So there's so many things going on all the time. So it's, lots of writing at home and then taking it into the jam space and playing with everybody. And then it usually will change and morph as other people add their parts or give their 2 cents and arrange further.
Is a song done when it's done on the album and then you go out and slay and play it the way it is, or do you continue to kind of jam live and feel things out and slightly change things as you play live?
It's pretty much done and dusted once we start doing it live. I might add like some improv or flares in some of the leads and just like a little sassy element there. But for the most part, like I'm really comfortable if I do, here's the solo, how it's written. I know exactly how to play it every time, and I feel more confident going into it that way.
Right on. And in terms of this upcoming tour, so you have this huge tour, which I'm super stoked for. Hopefully we get to cover you somewhere along the way. We have people all over the world covering shows and festivals for us. So what are you most excited about getting this on the road again?
For me personally, I've never played. The only place on this tour I've played before is Denver. Everything else is new. I haven't even been to a lot of these cities, so it's going to be a whole 3 weeks of all new ground for me, just to see what the scene's like in these other states and cities. On the East Coast, where it's a lot more dense. Everything's closer together. Heard stories. I've been to shows out east, but never played one. So.
All right.
We've gotten a lot of requests over the years, and we are delivering, so show up.
Right on, yeah. Please come out and support live music in the underground, or else we can't come back. Like I have to say, it's like every single post, every single band. Why don't you play X? When are you coming to my town? We were just there. Why weren't you paying attention? So like I said, death metal especially, you have to want to be here. Most fans in the genre, people want this music. So they want to be on the lookout. Hopefully they're checking out Ghost Cult and sites like ours to find out when the tours are hitting. But yeah, definitely, pay attention when a band announces a tour and put it down in a calendar or something, because I cannot tell you how many times. When is Cannibal Corpse playing my town? Hey, they just played there. You missed it because there's so much noise to cut through. But, I'm stoked for you all to get all over the country, and hopefully people get to hear this thing. And I assume you're working on new music now for another release?
Yeah, working on our 4th album. This, we've been trying to focus on getting out and playing more. So I think that's like the next album, I think, will go a lot further once we plant the flag in a bunch more cities. So that's kind of been the focus of this year. But there is a lot written for the next album, and just need to finish. Easier said than done, but
right, of course.
We do have a lot written. It's just the way we write will be like, here's 15 ideas. There are these songs, and like, okay, we got to pick 8 and finish them actually. And then, you got to like pick up where you left off a lot of times. Sometimes you plow through and finish a song quickly, but it's always been a little more chaotic for me. I'm working on improving. But,
Fair enough. Having standards and having standards for yourself is very important in life, not just in a band. So that's helpful also.
Mm-hmm. It's like I want to write for our albums. It's like I want to write the metal music that I would really want to listen to if that doesn't exist already. Just like 8 songs, all killer, no filler, not too much, not too little. It's really what I strive for.
Nice. I'm not too familiar with Seattle. Outside of the big bands, what's the local scene like there? Is there a local scene? Are there some bands you can recommend that maybe are below our radar we should be checking out?
Yeah, there's a ton of great bands here. There's a lot of metal fans in just the general Puget Sound region. Getting them all to come out to a show is a little easier said than done. But some good bands we're friends with. Oxygen Destroyers, a good one from up here. Infernal Realm, Old Machines. They're from Portland, but close enough. Those are 3 I really like a bunch. Health Slot, they're really good. Kind of endless, really, but Solicitor, Luminator, Skeletor. tons of good stuff.
Nice. They may have some trademark problems with that last one, but
I think they changed one of the letters. So
oh, there it is. There it is.
yeah,
Anything to get by the censors and the IP lawyers. I'll be polite in this interview and not say what I really think, but not be too blunt. But
yeah,
man, that's killer. I'm looking to get up there and see the city. What obviously, what's if I've been to Portland, but if I've never been to Seattle, what do I have to do as a rocker person?
if you want to go to some good venues, there's like the Central Saloons, like it may be the oldest bar in the city or one of them that they still do a lot of metal shows, and that's like my favorite spot downtown. And all the touristy spots are great. Me personally, it's all about like the parks and the lakes and the mountains out here. That's like that's the real good stuff.
Right on. It does look beautiful. I would love to see mountains from a city. Maybe Utah is the closest thing, and it's not quite. It's not quite mountain ranges. It's sort of.
yeah.
Salt Lake City sort of has mountains around it. Not quite the same though. Not the Purple Mountains Majesty like the song says. I love to see anybody in there, comfortable in their space with a road case of guitars. Which is your favorite there?
Out of all these, I don't have any of my show guitars out, but this is probably my 1991 RG 550 made in Japan. Super beat up and scratched and like plays so awesome. This is my favorite out of all the ones I got out right now.
Right on, man. Those Ibanez guitars were made for metal. They were made for shredding solos and writing riffs. They're so good.
Yeah, great guitars. I usually use Ibanez and Jackson are my two favorites. I use the Jackson ones live. Just they're a little pointier, a little more Xoth aesthetic. But I do love them both.
Right on. And I always like to end these interviews with a wildcard question. So I have one for you. Coincidentally, what is your favorite movie about space?
Favorite movie?
Could be horror, could be scientific-y, could be drama. What is your favorite space movie?
It probably changes depending on when you ask, but I did say Total Recall earlier. I love that one. Starship Troopers is a more like military epic one. Those are both Paul Verhoeven movies. And then kind of about space, Dark City, I think is a good one.
Right on.
Yeah.
It's wild that they let Paul Verhoeven make a sci-fi movie. He's a wild guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Anything like that.
Right on. All right, Tyler from Xoth. So cool to meet you. Thank you for sharing all that with us today. And good luck on the tour. Be safe. Get some air tags for your gear. Don't leave the van alone. Park in parking lots. You know the drill. Yep. It's a crazy time in the world right now. It's advice I would give to everybody. Doesn't matter what city or where you are. Protect your shit and be safe and rock out. And we'll see you at one of these shows, I'm sure.
Yeah, thank you so much. Nice meeting you.
Anytime. Yeah, thanks for hanging with us. We'll see you soon.
Yeah,
peace.
Bye.